Hi, loves. Hi, loves. Hi, loves. It's Elizabeth, Countess of Low Carb here. And on this episode, we're going to have a keto chat with Kayla coming up next. Kayla! Hey there, lady. How are you? Can you
I
hear
am
me?
good. This is crazy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Okay.
Can you hear me okay,
I
or am I muted?
I can. It's perfect. Yeah. Sorry, I'm
Yay! Hi,
not very
sweetie.
technological at all, so.
Neither am I. No worries. No worries. So, welcome. I'm so excited to have you on this episode, and I'm so thrilled on a personal, professional, but a personal level to have you here to share your journey and to share your experience, and hopefully to give some other people some encouragement because you have a heck of a ketogenic story. Like, you have some good
Yeah.
wisdom to share. So, can we dive in? Is that okay if we just dive right in? Okay, so let's share, can you share a little bit about your keto story? How did you get involved with the ketogenics diet, learn about keto, fill everyone in?
Okay. It was a little bit choppy. I don't know if that's on my service or what is going on, but if you can't hear me, just tell me. I started keto October 1st, and can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me
Oh,
okay?
yeah. I can.
I'm not sure if it's my internet
Yeah, so
connection or
I
your
started
internet
keto.
connection. Sorry.
Maybe it's okay. Yeah, so I actually just kind of get sort of personal. I was thinking about this today. I had been praying for my brother and I's relationship and how I could get more of a relationship with him because we're just not very close. And literally the next day, he asked me if I wanted to join this ketogenic meal life plan thing. And I knew nothing about it, but I said yes because I was like, this, I feel like God answered my prayer. And
Hmm.
we had a 30-day like meal plan type thing that he had paid like,
Hmm.
I don't know, some amount of money for. And it was really difficult, but it was just really elaborate recipes. But like within 2 weeks, which I didn't realize I was in ketosis, I didn't know anything about it. Within 2 weeks, I had mental clarity that was insane. I had never experienced that like in my whole life. I had energy. I wasn't tired when I woke up in the morning. I noticed at the end of the 2 weeks, I had lost like 7 pounds, which to me was like crazy amount. And so then I started doing research, and actually, like, then I found your page, the Countess of Low Carb, which has been like so perfect because I really needed that accountability. Like, I did not realize that. I don't think I would be here if I didn't have that. So, and I've been keto ever since. Like, I haven't, I've had a couple days where I've been off, but I never, like, people ask me, they're like, are you going to do this forever? I'm like, yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
Like, I really think
Hmm.
so.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, you likewise have been such a huge source of encouragement for me too, on a personal level. Like, if there's ever a moment of where I'm like, oh, should I eat this? And I'm like, our group, like Diana, you,
yeah,
Tessa, like ringing my head, and I'm like, no, like I feel like I'm gonna let Kayla
yeah,
down. Like, no, I'm
exactly.
not going to
Exactly. Me
eat
too.
this.
Me too. Me too.
Cool. So you started, and can I ask you, is it too personal? And if I get too personal, please just say I don't feel like answering
Oh,
back
I
or whatever, because I'm
feel that. So,
oh my God. How much weight have you lost?
so from October until now, I'm at, I think the last weigh, I haven't done a weigh-in in a couple weeks, but the last weigh-in, I think I had lost 27 pounds since October.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
is,
You look different in your face.
oh,
Like your face, I haven't seen you in a while for a hot second, and you look different. Like your face is noticeably different.
yeah,
You look great.
I don't notice a difference really, except for when I put, like, I saw somebody the other day say that they put on jeans, and that's when like it was like so baggy. That's when I
Hmm.
notice it, is when I actually
Yeah.
put on new clothes. And what did I get rid of, like a
Yeah.
dress the other day? Or no, I'm packing for my trip, and I put on a dress that
Yes.
used to be really tight, and it's not tight anymore. And I literally danced around the apartment. I was so happy. I'm gonna go wear it. Yeah.
Yes. That's the best. Well, so what is your favorite keto food? What's your go-to? Like, what do you love to eat?
That's a good one. So I love bulletproof coffee. I literally drink it every
Hmm.
single day. Like today, I didn't drink it in the morning because it was really busy at work. So I drink it at like
Hmm.
2 o'clock. And caffeine doesn't affect me in that way, but it was such a nice meal. And then I didn't eat dinner until literally right before this. So like I was full, you know, the rest of the day, or the most of the day. Even after exercising, I went and exercised and everything. So yeah, I love bulletproof coffee. And then for dinner tonight, because it was crazy, I got one of my favorite things, which is from either Five Guys or Foster's. I get their cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger with my favorite kind of cheese, extra bacon, and then no bun. And for Five Guys, I'll do the lettuce wrap. And those are my two, like, I could eat that all the time. Like, it's the best. So that's probably my
Oh my gosh.
favorites. Yeah.
What's your favorite cheese? You mentioned favorite cheese. What's your
Pepper
favorite cheese?
and Gouda. Those are my favorite.
Oh, good. You're speaking my Gouda language. I love Gouda myself. I
Oh,
really do love Gouda. Emily says, "What's up?" So she's saying, "Hi, Emily. Hi,
oh,
sister." She's part of the crew. Yeah.
oh yes, she's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
supportive.
Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. So you are able to go out and eat. You go out and eat. You don't prepare all of your meals,
Mhm.
but you like to go out occasionally and eat.
Oh yeah. I love eating out, and that's actually
Mhm.
kind of the cool thing because my partner and I still like to do date nights and go out and do stuff, and
Mhm.
I can find something
Mhm.
anywhere. Like salmon is a
Mhm.
huge thing that I love. I love salmon with like, and I'll get like a side of spinach, and I like cooked
Mhm.
spinach, and I'll just put extra butter on it, or I put olive oil on it.
Mm.
Yeah, I can get something anywhere that I go. And I really appreciated you talking about the IHOP because I actually
Yeah.
right before you sent that, I went with a friend to IHOP
Mhm.
and didn't know I got like the omelet thing and I was like, no, I
Yes.
was
No.
upset. I was
We go there once a week just for like budget, like it's cheap and
yeah,
kids eat free at our IHOP every night of the like. So we always go there because it's free for our son. But they now put it in the menu that they add the batter. The if
oh,
people if folks
awesome.
you don't know, if you go to IHOP, they add the pancake batter into the omelets, so, which totally blows you out of ketosis if you're trying to get an omelet.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, gosh darn it. Yeah, I was really upset. But yeah, if I'm cooking at home though, one of my favorite things, I might have put it in our old group, but it was the
Mm-hmm.
crispy chicken curry thighs. And literally, because I love to bake. I don't like to cook. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why I don't have the patience for
Mm-hmm.
it. And so I'll put like a baking sheet and an aluminum foil and literally put chicken thighs, like 10 of them, and then I just put a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of seasonings that are keto approved and put them in the oven for 45
Mm-hmm.
minutes. And then that's like my dinners and my lunches, and it's so easy. And like
Love
got like
that.
curry on it. Like it's curry and salt
Mm-hmm.
and pepper and whatever. And it's so easy. So yeah, that's one of my other favorite things. Yeah,
Yum.
it's really good.
Yum. That sounds delicious. That sounds delicious. Victoria just asked us, do you do intermittent fasting? Are you an intermittent faster?
So occasionally I do. I actually, that's a question that I have for Dr. Barry. I
Mm-hmm.
listen almost to every single one
Mm-hmm.
that he does. And I know you had
Mm-hmm.
asked a question about hair loss because I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed hair loss. Like I shed a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems, and I don't know if this is my Kayla logic, not scientific logic. It
Mm-hmm.
seems that it's when I do intermittent fasting, it seems when I like try and
Mm-hmm.
like not have as much calories or whatever. Like I don't mean
Yeah.
to do that in intermittent fasting. It's just I don't get
Uh-huh.
enough in if I'm doing that. Like it just happens that way. I don't
Yeah.
get what I normally would eat all day. And so I,
Mm-hmm.
this last week decided I'm not going to do it anymore. I don't know if it has to do with that or not, but I don't need to do it. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't, I don't think I'm going to anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my own
Mm-hmm.
personal thing. I have no idea if it's
Yeah.
linked or not, but
I love that. I love that. Because I think that for me, I feel like it's such a personal
it,
decision. And I know in the keto community, it's a big, big
yeah,
thing. I mean, I feel like everyone does that. I feel like it's, I don't know, not wearing jeans. You know what I mean? Like everyone wears jeans or whatever. And I feel like, I'm like, I do, and I try, and I have to be mentally, super spiritually and mentally fit to be able to do it because for me, it awakens old things that I don't want to have necessarily awakened.
yeah. Well,
It starts to,
think about like if you're hungry, you need to eat. Like I don't know, I'm like
right,
that's so foreign because when I would
right.
try and restrict my diet, like my way of eating or whatever
Hmm.
before, I would, if I was hungry, I'd be like, I can go another hour. Like I can go another 2 hours. It's fine. But no, like if I'm hungry now, I eat. And
Yeah,
so I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know if that
yeah,
has to do with intermittent fasting, but
yeah, 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 yeah. And I think being fat adapted, like I'm not really that hungry, but when I'm hungry, I'm
Me
hungry. And
too.
the sister here wants to
Yeah.
eat. When I get hungry, I'm like, I'm eating some today bacon dipped in Alfredo with broccoli. That was my
Oh,
lunch, and it was mind-blowingly incredible.
that's
I was so excited about it.
I had never made homemade fettuccine or homemade Alfredo until last week. I'd never made. I'd seen you guys do it. Never made it. Oh my gosh, my life is like changed. Yes, it's so good. So that sounds delicious.
Isn't it
Yeah, I made
life-changing?
that.
And I'm like, oh my God, the first. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying that's what I made for our Valentine's Day, and my boyfriend was like, "That's amazing."
Right? It makes you look
Yeah,
like a rock star because you're like, it's homemade.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Because I used to get it from a can, and now I'm
yeah.
like, oh my God, it's like three ingredients. Like, it's the
Mm-hmm.
easiest thing ever. It is
Exactly.
the easiest thing ever. So, what would you give your best ketogenic diet tips for someone who's new, who's thinking about the keto diet, who's like easing their way into this? What would you share with them as a source of encouragement?
Well, one of the things was that my mindset seemed to come first. Like I had been sort
Hmm.
of watching what I was eating before that, before keto came along. It was just like seriously perfect timing for everything. Um, but my mind,
Which gives me
right,
goosebumps.
yeah, it really does. It's amazing. But I had had a moment back in May of last year where I was the heaviest I'd ever been, and I realized all these things about why I gained weight. A lot of it was like not like feeling powerless over things. A lot of it was like I didn't like the male attention. A lot of like I just realized all of these things and that I didn't know I was like hiding behind food. And so my biggest thing that I could tell people is that love it, like turning to like the affirmations and like loving yourself, like all of your blogs about love and compassion and like if I eat the cookie, like not hurting, like not like it's kind of crazy to think about that we would be so nasty to ourselves and we're the only relationship, like we're the only person that's going to be with us for the rest of our lives. Like I don't know, I just feel like that was the biggest thing
Mm-hmm.
was that I had to first be into this like it's okay, like you're doing a really great job, like love yourself, like you have an amazing body, like you can do all, you can walk
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, you can do all these things. So that's a huge part of
Yes.
mine. Like that's a huge part of the keto journey for me. And I feel like you giving the suggestions and saying, like I see your answers to people and I appreciate it so much that you're like, well, it's kind of like how you feel and like what works for you. And like, it's really important, you know,
Thank you.
that's so important because it teaches us to listen to ourselves and teaches us to like love whatever we're feeling and whatever is going on and like,
Yes.
not beat ourselves up for like I did last week, like kind of going off keto a little bit and like not beating ourselves up for that. Like I think that's a huge thing on
Right.
keto. Like,
Right. Right. Because then you can still have these amazing victories and successes of while going off, but still losing 30 plus
mhm.
pounds and feeling amazing and looking amazing and having your body working. And that to me has been the biggest key, I think. I mean, knowing when I started this that I needed to lose 100 pounds and now have lost 50 pounds with another 50 pounds to go is the mindset change that comes with it, though, of like, this is my
Yeah.
body and it's going to be with me the rest of my life and the relationship with my body. And I can either have this hate relationship that I've had for decades, or I can kind of try to start changing that relationship and making it a loving one.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you remember?
because the hate part's not working.
Yeah. I remember somebody had like a really bad day one day in our group. And I don't know. I don't know if someone said that. Someone must have said this to me because I don't come up with like all these ideas in my head. But that like if you had one bad day and had 28 like amazing wins and victories, like isn't that
Yes.
insane that we would like just for me it
Yes.
ends up then being a week of hating myself and then I'll eat sugar and all
Hmm.
that stuff will come straight
Hmm.
back. But if I just look at it
Hmm.
as like, okay, I can start my day over and start over tomorrow or start
Hmm.
over right now with this meal, like it becomes just a part of like the journey, like a hiccup instead of like, I don't know. And like, I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, it
yeah,
does. It was Diana who said it too, because I remember her saying it, and I remember being like, "Well, that's really profound. Like, that's
yeah,
really smart."
yeah, seriously, it was so helpful. That
Hmm.
was so helpful. That's why I love our community.
Hmm.
Like, I could not be here without it,
Hmm.
seriously.
Well, if people are interested, I'm going to put the link in there. We have our VIP coaching group if anybody is interested in doing it. But you had touched on affirmations. What source of affirmations, if someone's interested in getting into affirmations and things like that, where would you recommend that they would go to do that or get that?
Yeah, so I started listening to Louise Hay. That was somebody I listened to. And seriously, my bathroom is right there. And if you go into my bathroom, I have literally written on the wall, I love you. You are perfect in this world. We're gonna have an adventure today. Like, I have all these affirmations that I printed offline, and then I wrote my own that said, like, you are a light in this world and you're a part of this world. So like doing that and like getting in touch with like what I feel. And at first I thought it was so hokey, and people come in my bathroom, so
Right.
yeah, like,
Right.
and I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Right.
But like, it really helps me in the morning to look at that. And like, literally the first one says, like, I say back to myself, like, I love you, Kayla. Like, I love you. And you look yourself in the face. And like, I did not think they were working. I thought it was pointless. I felt so awkward. One of them I did for 30 days. I literally stood, and I don't know if men are watching this, but I stood naked in my mirror and did that. And like, that was so hard. But I did it for 30 straight days. And like, I thought it wasn't going to work. And then literally, like I said, in May, I hit some breakthrough where I was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to do this I don't want to eat a
Yes.
pie in my bed like at
Yeah.
o'clock at night anymore. I don't want.
Yes.
And I think it was all those affirmations first and like loving myself first. And I did have, just to say, I did have one person that for about a month, I would tell her every single time, like, I'd be like, dude, I ate a whole pie in my bed last night.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I love you. And like, that was so, she will never understand the amount of like help that was for me to be like, wow, I'm a whole person, even if I eat a whole pie. Like, I'm not less than, I'm not like a bad person. Like, I had somebody who loved me at my like lowest. And I think that was part of like helping catapult me into, wanting to make changes too, just having those people like our group that really, love us, even if we're feeling off, even if we're not sure, even if we feel like we ate sugar and whatever, like, it just means so much to me to have that support and love. Like, I can't explain it enough. Because I can't come up with it in my own head. My head is naturally very negative. So I need other people to kind of remind me sometimes. And then it seems like I snowballed from there, and I'm like in a totally different place, and it's so cool. So,
Girl, you brought me to tears. My fake eyelashes are going to pop off. That was beautiful. Was it Sarah? Was it Sarah?
Yes. Yeah.
The way you said it, even like your inflection sounded like her. I was like, oh, good God.
Such a gift of my life.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I think it's so life-changing, because I think the reason why I'm tearing up is because I too had a similar experience of where it was April of this past, and I was like, I'm no longer doing this anymore. I'm no longer doing this, eating the pie and the bit, or, I mean, for me, it was like chips. Like, chips are the devil for me, because I love chips so much. But it was like, no longer am I going to continue to abuse myself this way, hurt myself this way, because that's what it was. It was no longer for fuel. It was to hurt. And getting really brutally honest with that. I think that like the honesty, and that's why in our group, I so commend people when they're honest and authentic and real, because earbuds for children, but this shit is hard. And into getting to that place of being raw and real, like you do. The other day I was like, oh my God, like it gives me a gut level check for myself. When you're honest, it makes me even more honest with myself. And I feel like for everybody in our group, it permeates of, like, if she's going to get real in a healthy space, I'm going to get real in a healthy space. And that's so cool. So cool.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the exact same way.
So someone asked, what food do you miss the most? What food do you miss the most on the ketogenic diet? And do you have a solution for the food that you miss the most?
So I love cheesecake. That is like my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
And for my birthday, which was in August, I got like all this cheesecake, and it was so good. So I didn't know if I was going to get through the holidays. Like, I just didn't know. Well, they have low carb cheesecake. I literally make it once a month now. And my mom just asked me, can you come? Yeah, I make it, and I put it in my fridge, and it's so easy to make, and it's so delicious. So I thought I would miss that. I really have nothing that I miss. Girl. Like, I thought maybe I would miss peppermint bark. I love that around Christmas time. Yeah. And when Christmas came around, like, my cravings went away. It was like, And I found that like when my cravings come, I have these solutions. Like you're talking about chips. I made those radish chips and I thought I was like, this is gonna be weird. Like that's always my thought. I'm like, this is gonna be weird. They
Yeah.
were so they like I ranted and raved on our little thing about like these taste just like chips. How is this
I do.
possible? Um,
Yes.
yeah, it's amazing. What else? I really can't think of anything that like I miss. Because I don't crave I don't really crave. And when I crave, that's actually, and this is my own personal thing, I do one carb, like whatever carb meal, and I call it carb cycling. And like I did a little bit of research about it, and it's always the same amount, the same time during the month. And for like women, it's always when I'm like ovulating, it seems like. I don't know why, it's always around that time. And I crave like none of my foods taste good. And it's like 4 days. None of my foods taste good. I can't get enough water. I've drank like 2 gallons of water, like an insane amount. And so I'll have one day where like one meal I'll have, like I had mellow mushroom. Like I had 2 slices of regular pizza, which I love our fathead pizza, but yeah, I had a regular pizza. And I felt immediately better. And then I dropped weight. It was insane. Like every month I do that, I dropped weight. It was like my body was holding on, holding on, holding on. And then it just like released. It was awesome. Almost every month. So it's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Love that. So that kind of goes tail ends with what I was going to add a little bit about a weight loss stall. Have you had a weight loss stall? And what would be your tips, suggestions, philosophies on weight loss stalls?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm in one right now. That's why I haven't weighed. I mean, last week I ate more protein than I've been eating and less fat, and so I didn't feel in ketosis. So that could be part of it. I don't what is it? Do the meter thing. I don't
Yeah.
whatever they use the word for that. But so I don't know if I was out of ketosis or not. But so I think I'm in a weight loss stall now. And what I found is that it's excess dairy. Like I bloat in my stomach area around that time. It's excess dairy. Like I'd had like a million coffees with heavy cream or something. And like, because I'm like wanting it because I actually crave it because I love that so much, you know, I love it so much. So then I just kind of cut out as much of my cheese because I love cheese so much. And then I do that one like carb cycling meal, which I don't know if it's the same for everybody. But when I do that, I typically will drop weight within the next week. And it's always around the same time. It's crazy. Ever since, so October, November, December, January. So 4 months, I lose weight at almost the exact same time, like at least 3 pounds. So it's pretty awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. So you started working in exercise with as part of your, have you always exercised or have you, you've started working it in, right? It's new.
Yeah.
Working out, going to the gym is new for you.
Yeah. So I used to, I loved trail running. This was before May of last year. I loved trail running. I played basketball. I was a very athletic person. I've always been big boned, like whatever the word is. So I could never like beat out somebody in a mile or whatever. But starting keto, I was like, I'm going to do this for a little while. And then whenever I feel like exercising again, like, then I'm going to do that. And so January's starting to come around and I had so much energy and, you know, I had done a few days of eating like a little bit of sugar and I still felt in ketosis and I still felt really good because I was fat adapted. And so I just decided January 1st. And actually, you can see my calendar. Yeah, so all of the pinks are when I've worked out and the blue is like a church function thing. But yeah, so if you look at like the pinks, that's the days that like I've worked out. So I do with the like stickers thing or whatever. I love it. So yeah, so I do that for myself. So like I saw in January that I went at least 3 days a week and I didn't push myself. I didn't say like, I'm going to go for 2 hours for like, I can't do that. Like I just, with my schedule, like I work full time. I also have a lot of commitments outside of work. So I was like 3 days a week for an hour. Awesome. And I think I posted in our little thing, my partner and I have started working out together, which I mean, I always tell him how much I love it, but like it seriously means the world to me that him and I do that. And so we've done that at least once a week for a little while now and I love it. So yeah.
I love that you guys do that. It's the cutest thing. My husband and I have actually started, we're like, oh, but who's going to watch the kid? Like, because we want to do it, because I've been talking about how you've been doing it. I'm like, that's such a good idea. I love it. I think that that's such a creative, sweet, loving way to, have connection time
Yeah.
while sweating.
Yeah. Well, and I realized that like I kind of princessed the gym before going with him. And like I would do weights and I'm like, me, this is awesome. I'm like kind of having fun or whatever. And he's like, no, you can do like 30 pounds more. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. So it's actually been,
Wow.
yeah. And I'm like sore now. So it's good. Like he really put, it's
Yes.
awesome. It's awesome.
I love it. I love it. So I know we're getting somewhat near the end of time, but I still have two more questions
Okay.
that I need to ask before we wrap it up. But what would you tell, in 6 months, it will be the end of August. What would you tell yourself in 6 months from now? What would be your words of wisdom?
Keep doing it. Like, do not quit. Keep being honest and accountable in your group, and keep being true to yourself, because I don't talk about keto to everybody, because everybody has their own thoughts and opinions, and just
Yes.
I listen to so much research, and like I'm listening to the Keto Clarity book right now on Audible. Like it's been fascinating to me.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think I would tell myself to keep going, because I'm sure I said in our little group, I'm doing a sprint triathlon August 12th.
Yes.
So I'm like, keep going, because you signed up for that. So
Yes.
like you kind of keep going.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's what I would tell myself. Not quit, no matter what.
I love it. Love it. Love it. And what's your next goal? What are you eyeing on the horizon? I mean, you mentioned your August event. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
So that's a big goal. So August 12th, I'll be doing that with my coworker. So that'll be cool. And then in May, I want to do a 5K again. Right now, I cannot run a 5K, but I'm trying. I'm doing couch to 5K on my iPhone.
Cool.
So that's my next goal. And then I also want to be under 200. Like right now, I'm like what am I, like in the teens of the 200s, or like the late teens. And I want to be 199. Like that, I haven't seen that since high school probably. Like I would love to be able to tell myself that. And I don't know, just know that I can do that. Like and I feel better too. Like I could do more things and be part of more things. And I love to hike and trail run. And right now, like my body doesn't really allow it as much. So I know the more weight I'll lose, the more I'll be able to do those things that I really, really love. So I think that's
awesome.
yeah.
Well, you have been a major source of encouragement for me, my friend, and I so value you and appreciate you. Is there anything else before we sign off that you wanted to share, talk about, words of encouragement, anything else that we've missed?
No, Elizabeth, I can't express enough how, like, seriously, the synchronicity of doing that with my brother, and then we hadn't talked in years, and then seeing on Facebook your Countess of Low Carb randomly, and I'm like, what is that? And it being the exact, like, I can't express to you, by you following your dream and putting this like in the forefront, I can't express how much it has impacted my life. And I really think like I'm still here because of that. Like I can't express enough. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I can't and seeing how well you're doing, and like I literally watch every YouTube video you do every day. Like I'm like, what's on next? Whatever. Like
Thank you
so much. So please, you keep doing it too, because I'm here because you're there. Like seriously. So
thanks, love. Well, God is so good, man. I mean, really, if you told me how this thing would play out, it's crazy to me. So thank you for blessing me, really, truly. The 2,000 plus YouTube follower, or whatever it's called, likers, or whatever the word is because, in part because of you, because you really do. You, Diana, Tessa, I mean, our whole gang of who started this. And now the family has expanded of all the people in here. Nicole, Emily, Lori Ann, I think was the one who had mentioned about the pants. Kim, all of there's tons and tons of people that are changing and changing their families too. And that's what really gets me excited, is by me changing, my 2-year-old son is seeing that, and he's changing. And the circumference is getting wider of this ketogenics thing, of how it's impacting people's lives to do things like trail runs, to do these cool things. And other people are watching you too. And you don't know who's going to, couple months, at the end of August, in 6 months, say, hey, Kayla, because of your strength to look at and do this, I'm going to do it too. So
it's amazing. Thank you so much for asking me and inviting me. So awesome.
Oh my gosh. Well, will you come back in a few months? Will you come back? I feel like people are going to want to see your progress. Will you come back? Is that okay?
I would love that. That would be so much fun.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to post this to YouTube. Probably I have probably in a week, so you can see yourself on YouTube if that's okay, if I have your permission to put that on
Cool.
there. Cool. Well, wishing you a great night. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much. And I'm blessed to call you my friend. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye.